Saturday, December 30th, 1922. Boston digging out as new storm threatens. Train and trolley service nearly normal in city and suburbs. More snow or rain due Sunday. The big storm of the past 36 hours is over, and today should bring bright skies and slowly rising temperatures with diminishing northerly winds. But tomorrow is going to be a different story altogether, for unsettled weather with probable rain or else more snow is the bill for Sunday. A considerable rise in temperature will take place by tomorrow. Yesterday's official temperatures here ranged from 15 to 23, the reading at 8 p.m. being 19, with every prospect of going lower during the night. By last evening, Boston and this section of New England had virtually recovered from the storm, which, despite the 10-inch snowfall and the terrific gale, proved far less demoralizing to transportation than many blizzards of a seemingly less violent nature. This was due chiefly to the fact that the snow, especially towards the end of the storm, was of the fine, dry variety which does not clog rails and switches as a wetter snow invariably does. Transportation near normal. Suburban train service was remarkably good yesterday morning, while by afternoon things were running again in almost normal fashion. Through trains, especially from points to the north of Boston, came in considerably behind schedule, as the storm to the north was apparently much more severe than in this vicinity. Boston appeared, as a matter of fact, to be almost in the edge of the snow area, for as near as Buzzards Bay, the storm brought only rain. This fact made the storm problem much simpler for the New Haven Railroad than for the Boston and Maine and Boston and Albany, whose entire territories were in the snow-covered zone. High tides and terrific surf complicated the situation along the entire shoreline to the north and south of Boston, while off Cape Cod, a tremendous high sea was reported yesterday. Although comparatively little snow fell after the middle of the morning, dry scattered flakes continued to drift down at intervals throughout the day, giving many persons the impression that the storm was going to start all over again. The high wind, which continued all day, caused considerable drifting, particularly in suburbs, and many a sidewalk which had been carefully shoveled had to be dug out a second and sometimes a third time. Escalator given a trial. 1,500 snow shovelers, 50 motor trucks, 300 one-horse wagons, and 50 carts were pressed into service by the city of Boston yesterday morning to dig the city out. A snow escalator, the very latest device for the removal of snow from the streets, was tried out yesterday by the Boston Elevated. It moves slowly along, gathering up all the snow in its path, throwing it into the air, and automatically dropping it into a motor truck, which follows just behind for this purpose. The delivery of coal will undoubtedly be considerably retarded by the storm, the effects of which will be felt all along the line from the mine to the bin. Rail and water transportation of coal will be delayed, while local deliveries by motor trucks are bound to be somewhat hampered by the snow-filled streets. Boston sidewalks were, as a rule, very slippery yesterday, for the snow, wet and slushy in its earlier stages, froze over the sidewalks as the temperature began to descend, and the most frantic efforts of an army of ice choppers made little progress in getting rid of this snow coating. City shovelers experienced a good deal of difficulty during the day because of the parking at the curb of automobiles. Vehicles carting off the snow were impeded in movement in some of the narrow streets, and digging under parked cars to clear away the drifts was found to be twice as hard a job as ordinary shoveling. The mayor sympathized so much with the plight of the shovelers that he communicated with police and traffic squad in the hope of getting something done to alleviate this trouble.